today. From Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. It's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Summer drawing to a close here in the Southeast. The roof is closed at the wondrous Mercedes-Benz Stadium due to the hot temps still outside here in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now, if I lose this game, it makes the NFC wildcard even more wide. Chargers won. They barely beat the Raiders.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Buccaneer offense taking the field with all eyes in the stadium glued to their quarterback in season number 21. His first, of course, in Tampa, the great Tom Brady.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy
Also, that's when most time it's participation too.
And put the defense back on its heels.
Brady now on first down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now what they had in mind there, that's going to go as a loss of 4. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you look at the next-gen stats, you'll see that he topped out at an even 21 miles an hour. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. To throw, it's Brady. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Again, it's Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's got Evans. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off with their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a second and 10.
What do we do? We go deep?
Here's Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield.
They don't get into the practice.
I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts the defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
There's one guy right there.
Put through by Succop, and that makes the score 7-0. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Matt Ryan, the longtime Falcon, a veteran who's been in the league since 2008, ready to guide this Atlanta offense.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's 2nd down. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
By the 2-11.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first.
What are you doing?
He makes it to the 34.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, the pressure brought in, the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's got them.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch.
The hell?
The offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brady.
Nobody open.
And that'll be incomplete.
Receivers suck. How do you have Evans and Godwin? They can't even get open. And I don't have an O-line to protect me.
Pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are in the field, have some awareness. Tackle the tackle. Get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second. Working from the gun, it's Brady.
Blocking.
And this one caught by Cameron Brady. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one looking Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
That's what you dumbass
Falcons. To the
Falcons.
end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs.
These injuries.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side. The
Always try and block
the
it.
other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Taken in the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
There certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 14 carries, 94 yards, and a score.
10 touchdowns on the season for him, and I don't know whether these goals are written down. I don't know whether they're discussed amongst the team, but I do know this. Every guy who touches the ball as a ball carrier thinks 10 touchdowns is a nice round goal to try and reach in a season.
Oh, fuck. My dog just bulldoze.
First down, Atlanta.
What are you doing, Woody?
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result.
Hey, what's he doing over there, Ian?
Down big early in the first quarter,
Hey.
and a lot of teams
What was the closet door? He got a color pencil.
and just start firing the ball all over.
You gotta go get it. Do that first and then creep.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Gurley now, out of the gun.
Is he breaking
He's
tackle?
taken down inside the 30. 12 more yards
Right.
there and another first down.
Bob?
A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a
Where's
probing
his rush defense at?
something here in the second one.
They get 10 more, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished. Just looking
Woody!
moving the ball.
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to put the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Matt Ryan missed a wide open tight end. My God.
But it's incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for him a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
The score, Buccaneers 14.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like you get an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself, at this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Brady to throw. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. There are the numbers for Brate from a week ago. 3 catches, 58 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way.
Not really. Not always. Depends on who I'm playing. There's some games I struggle, some games I don't. I scored 40 against Rams.
Tremendous execution.
And his kick is right through.
It's just matchup.
Summary, 3-play drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay.
This is mine because I got a running game.
After the touchdown,
I have a running game. This team's dangerous.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And
that's how I scored. I drove down the field because my running game. Jones got a big 50-yard run.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time.
Now basically, I only scored from that phone turn. I basically only.
Because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6.
I don't like them running the ball.
About the position they're in.
They never run.
We'll see if they can get the score.
They're down 21-3 and they're running.
David, the Bucs leading tackler.
They only ran the ball 7 times. They never run the ball.
On 2nd and 7, Ryan. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Now they didn't get any yards. They ran the whole drive down there.
From the gun, it's Ryan. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Rams lose. Tyson's missed at the point.
22-yard gain.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
21-3 is your score after one.
It's doing nothing.
The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Ryan.
He doesn't run.
Complete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There's pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him.
Kick a field
They
goal,
tightened down on the
Falcons.
receivers and forced the incompletion.
Field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
That's no good.
That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
What are the Falcons doing?
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's the Tampa Bay offense and Ronald Jones leading him out. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sideline.
He's open. What the hell?
Job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, as you would just say,
This length of Falcons versus defense.
let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Brady. Open man has got one. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He's excited.
How's it 3rd down and 6 and you have nobody covering the middle of the field? I mean, come on. What? How do you leave the middle of the field wide open?
Last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 7 yards on the pickup.
Woody, what are you doing?
2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead
Hey,
of the sticks, whatever you want to
what are you doing?
7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Brady. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end. They ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
I had my check down option.
Or the guy who's slow. The guy who, the coast street. Most of his running.
From the gun, Brady flushed out right.
To
the goal line, but it's
I had Evans at a second, but you gotta hit him right in the dot. The minute he's not up, the minute you don't post him right away, I could have went with Jones right away, but I didn't. Once you don't make the read at the right time, if you miss the read,
I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Hey, Woody, what are you doing? Stop! Woody!
Again, they'll throw with Brady.
Woody! Oh, he's open. Calm down! Pack it all!
Complete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
What the fuck is he doing?
Brady now on 3rd and goal. That's complete.
Come on, Evans.
Free from one tackle, but that's a
Come on,
ball as
Sweden
he's
supposed
taken
to
down.
war.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
They tell me to go for
This
it?
game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there.
Well, that's specifically you would go for here.
On 4th down, Ryan Suckup now for the Buccaneer field goal.
I need,
From the left hash, a chip shot here.
Why? I need every point I can get because I need a win.
The lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 20.
I'm not going for 4-3 because it's hard to get 3 yards.
Inside the 5.
I struggle in the red zone with the Bucs.
Credit the defense, too. Make sure
That's the one weakness. It was just surprising when you have a guy like Mike Evans. I hate 5 go route. Brady's not a quarterback you can do a go route.
And not willing to risk it.
Or go on fade.
He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC play.
Where my defense is playing,
give you a look at what's going on
that's
there.
where you see. That's why I go for, because then it makes them get the ball at the 3 yard. My defense.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you put something out there, you're giving yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
2nd and 6.
From the 29, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. If my calculations are correct here, and I think that they are, he's now over 55,000 career passing yards.
Well, you did get a fine education in the Midwest.
Where the hell is that UFC at in Atlanta? 10 run plays, 10 pass plays. When the hell is that ever bound? I know.
Should be passing all the time.
But now they're getting him involved in the offense.
He just keeps climbing towards.
Yeah, his first 2 catches came on this drive.
His number again.
Like, oh, we're down to 21. We gotta get the ball to Julio. That's going to make a pick now. He's going to make the wrong read and throw it to Julio.
That's Gurley.
You don't run it.
3 yards on the pickup.
Now,
Give it a 2nd down.
That's exactly a win-win. Your offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage.
why is he have second in the NFL when he sacks with the ball? I don't know how. We don't get that in the sacks.
He's just going to dump this one off to his.
They're tied 7-7.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Didn't get the
That's going to be a pick by the rookie, Winfield.
Jr. picks it.
The pressure.
To the 32-yard line.
This Bucs defense is getting better and better each week.
Better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble.
If I
The
face,
second it was leaving his hand.
you're going to be facing this Bucs team.
Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half
God,
for
they have
them,
a safety.
but they did do a nice job there.
Once he comes up.
On 2nd and 12, Brady. Looking for his tight end on the corner, it's complete.
Because I have running game, Ian.
Inside the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
What they do, I got sacked once, so they got pressure from me already. Now they're not getting pressure from me. Because their play action game is working. I got a running game.
And they're taking advantage of it.
Bucs have a running game. When this running team, when I have a running game, Ian, my team is, that's when my offense is most dangerous.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Brady. In the air and intercepted.
I had Evans. I had him, but I got hit.
His guys will get the
Evans had him beat. That's a touchdown. Because Evans is right there who had him beat. It's just like I hit him right through it because I don't get time. So you can't go deep. Because to go deep, you gotta have time. You throw a damn pick and you get hit and you throw it.
along with the rest of the Atlanta offense.
But I hate.
Maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit.
You have an O-line here. I don't have a fucking. My O-line's not good enough for me to go deep. Well, I don't go deep in the box.
Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed
14 picks in the year break. Eyes are clear high.
and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. He's done a really nice job.
Oh, fuck!
With his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
6-yard line.
Now Ryan on first down. Airing it out.
The fuck is he wide open?
Inside the 35.
The hell is this?
Calvin Ridley, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Falcons.
How is he that wide
I
open?
think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right route,
David just got beat by speed.
misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guys.
I can't roll the play, man to man. I did a safety
Top
blitz.
speed is computed by next-gen stats. 21.6 miles per hour.
I blitzed my safety, so I had no safety over the top.
And this is up and good. That'll make it a
I didn't even realize I blitzed.
24-10.
Only I was paying attention to what player I chose.
Just two plays, the long pass resulting in
Why,
a
what you
touchdown.
do, you don't pay attention to what happens.
Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Bucs take over first.
I had Evan beat too. I wanted to go deep to Evan. I had him too.
Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones,
They're comfortable.
it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that will tamp that down.
He's looked pretty good to this point.
He's the GOAT.
From the 31, Brady. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he slips up past the 45.
40 mean I want.
Tackle. 15 yards on the play.
And
First down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
He's still 7-0.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's over midfield and into
No, the
Falcon
Colts
territory. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he fires one incomplete. The Pro Bowler Chris Godwin, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
And 6 yards to go.
From the gun, Brady.
Yeah.
Complete, he finds Brady. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Brady to his tight end, Braid, for the Tampa Bay first. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davis.
Brought down at the 35-yard line. 2 yards.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Beans take it out.
Halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the
Evans
business.
is covering. What the fuck?
Nowhere to throw. He chucks this one away from harm.
Come on, Evan. You're running.
Now it's 3rd down. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Operating from the gun. Brady. It's caught. Jones. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's a gain of 16. First down, Tampa Bay. And out of that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. A 2nd and 11 from the 19. From the gun, Brady escaping the pressure right.
Oh my God, Brady!
Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
On play action, it's Brady. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today.
28 yards attempt.
Succop's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Here's Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And he will find his man on the outside. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the home team who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes for the veteran Alex Smith. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey to check on the Giants. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Nick Chubb with 2 touchdowns thus far. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. The veteran, Phillip Rivers, with a couple of touchdown passes
Colts
there.
win. I think they win the division.
In the game you're watching, it's
They swept the Titans and the
with a strong
Texans.
first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as
Browns are winning
well.
27-7.
To Brandon God.
And that is not helping my.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Ryan Sucka set to kick off.
It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here.
Hey now, Woody.
Back underway on EA Sports.
Hey!
Stop!
Woody!
Not willing to risk another fumble.
Stop!
Sit on this one. It's a touchback. And our attention shifts to Todd.
Fight.
And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters.
Like he didn't throw a Hail Mary. He threw it a short pass.
And that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
3rd and goal.
Operating from the gun, Ryan.
Oh my God, dude, this should be a pick.
After almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard after return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps in the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points.
You just can't have all 3 of you guys in a tie. I don't know how that controls it.
Right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points
to get a little more cushion.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second
All
half.
it only is if you can't stop Derrick Henry.
Decision in the backfield is going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Brady carrying this one out front. They got his man.
Come on, Brady! Don't run the phone, and Evans is going to the end zone.
For the 35. Last play, they didn't even get back.
Should have lobbed it.
Now they gain
I don't like bobbing because every time I bob it,
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward.
because it hangs in there too long. I went with the goal
Can you
out.
reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there.
I saw the safety. It came up. I changed that and about to go out. Well, I'm going to change it again. Maybe he might get lucky again.
Operating from the gun, Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones.
Brady wants to pass.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards.
From the pass or
That'll bring
flat.
up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his
You don't keep
back,
running go
let
outs
him
until
create
they
some space,
trigger.
and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Brady's throw there complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brady. Eluding the pressure right. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
And the lead will grow by 1 more. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs.
Ryan Sucka set.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away.
And no people don't worry too about the Bucs this year. Their defense. You know, most of my secondaries
prepped and ready for its next
Yeah, they're safe. They're like rookie. Rookie or second-year player.
Get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up
And Bucks defense is already good this year, right? They're steroid. That's why they struggle with some games, because but then the coach made a good job by getting against the Chiefs. They made a good adjustment. And they shut down the Chiefs at half. This Bucks team, Brady's next year, they're like undefeated. 14-2. Let's see, because they don't have Tony Brown next year. Did they say Brown to a 1-year contract? They did. So I guess they're going to re-sign him, I guess.
After the sack, work to be done. Another try after the first down sack. Ryan, Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35.
Get 30 inches. They're running. Let them run it, guys. Yep, they're running it.
Didn't quite get it to the marker.
You don't get it. Come on, Davis.
For a third and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better.
Oh.
To figure out third and long.
Russian defense getting shredded today by Gory.
They're able to get the third down conversion. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut expression called getting on your horse.
I know, but it's been time. I still wouldn't call it because if you get the first down, then they just get away.
Absolutely galloping downfield.
Most time they war. I usually get first down every time.
Fast he was going. Next gen stats clocked him at close to
Jones
21
nothing
miles
still.
an hour. Gurley again here on first down. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
I know you're trying to make him. How do you play with a camera like this? How do you even play like that?
Here's Ryan. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Ryan on target there to Sanu. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
What are the Tysons doing? 7-6 Tyson. You don't need to stay in the playoff hunt. You always got to win out. You don't see how you better beat your pack.
Had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
It's a 10-yard gain there to set
Patriots do not. But the biggest, the Browns winning, that's hurting my.
Now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Oh, he
almost had it played there.
And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Ryan will throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown. But there is a marker on the field. So now the question, who is this on? And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And he's got it from the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.
Yeah, because they struggled in the late season, so I can realize.
That's for sure, but that makes
the offense struggled in the season.
See why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready?
Yeah,
you may need multiples to throw out a game. There's a great example right there.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And able to get
well, yeah, because usually the break, because it was a run play. But I could have offered to a good pass player. Usually, they were bridging to the right side, which I was running up the middle. That's when you don't need to. Because it's a close one. They're winning 21-0.
Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Like, what the fuck are they doing? That's actually kind of helps me with the Patriots, though. I need Browns or Steelers. I need both of those.
Now Brady. And Brady, the tight end's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Oh, yeah.
Give him 30 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So
you know how this offense been so much better ever since I did that?
Red zone here for 1st and 10.
You wonder why I did that?
Now Brady, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Fuck. It's not a fumble.
When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble.
I don't think
He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think.
I don't think that's a fumble. How many people say that's not a fumble? That's not. I know, but I don't know if it's going to challenge what I want to challenge.
I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle.
I don't think my arm moving forward.
Just take care of the football.
Unless it's a backward.
What am I doing? Start to make a comeback.
See, it thinks I'm trying to spot the ball. I'm not trying to spot the ball. It's some stink. Like, it's like put the tight end. Switch my tight end.
The play, it did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the
Like,
final
what does that go
determination
down to?
on whether to actually challenge the play or not.
I can't look at it. I don't know how it would have fumbled, but he didn't get hit. He threw it. I don't get.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking.
I'm so
you throw that
confused.
flag, you probably feel really confident.
I need to see a replay.
And then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
It doesn't work that good. Evans.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. He's got Evans. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Brady to throw. And it is caught at the 7-yard line.
Don't get in.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with his 13th touchdown.
It bounced off his hands.
As the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game,
The one that be picking if it bounces off his hands or something. Or goes wherever.
He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here.
Mike Evans having a good day today. 9 catches for 100 and something yards and 2
now as
TDs.
he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 9-play drive. And it's
Brady for 14 picks and they get a tie score high. The most picks I'm going to fall in the year is probably 6 picks. I don't fall in the year.
touchdown to kick it away.
That's 1 pick a game.
taken in the
Bruce Aaron style offense. That's
risk another fumble.
most of my picture of Brady though hasn't. They always been like some gay shit. It's bad, not anywhere me doing it.
Look at the numbers for him.
Like against you with the Packers.
Well within his sights, barring
Next year,
will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year...
It's hurting Brady MVP chances.
You know, allocating extra resources to try and stop the guy of his ilk.
Because there's three guys that don't win MVP. Brady, Rodgers, or Mahomes. Brady, he's there, he ain't got no lion. And no I too. No reason in passing yards? Second. And how many TDs I have? I'm top 5 in TDs though, Ian. And no, because you have Jones, and Jones might take it from Rodgers.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He cannot hang on. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He's going to
Also, my defense can't stop them anymore.
Across the 35 before he's out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Goes up, and went up still.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Yeah, things are pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete.
Oh, the defense.
Just shy of the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Atlanta, Georgia's the spot, and glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Ryan going to get this.
Hasn't pulled away. They just got going
out of bounds after taking it a little further down.
The Lions with the loss, I think that will automatically, that should definitely eliminate this for the playoff.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he gets a head of steam going.
On third down, Ryan. He'll drop this underneath to Gurley. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
At the 20-yard line.
For the red zone now. Here's Ryan on first down. This one caught by Ridley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 12-yard line.
That's why I think Giants lost to the corner. Once they lost Barkley, they sucked. I think once Barkley got injured, the offense sucked. I think once they lost Barkley against Corners, when the Corners came back, because Barkley runs that whole entire offense. I mean, I think if I win this game, I'm in. I think I quit. Even I go 8-8. I think I will quit.
To throw again is Ryan. Blitz coming and down he goes. Vita Vea racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Looking for the end zone. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Dan Quinn's
you can't figure it out now. Help them, Ian.
there on 4th down. And the Buccaneers
I got Russell, I guess he will fool it. But there's a guy in there, so he flew a high, so Paul won't be picked.
1st and 10 at their own 18.
4th down, so it doesn't matter Pip. I guess he's trying to get.
Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard
That's that,
line.
Washington and Seattle get back in it.
Play in the drive and also give them a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Ronald Jones!
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Flush to his right.
Brady, all this
He's going to take off with it.
Oh, Brady.
Just shy of the 40.
They count as a negative 8-yard rush for Brady.
12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
The Falcons cannot stop the run.
Get this down near the 30-yard line. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Well,
You ran off again. Then you go off again, someone coming out.
But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Brady now on first down. And the flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And against your state. Yeah, I'm prepared. Every team that does it. Coordinated my coordinated my two.
It's quickly second and long.
Coordinated my two.
Penalty, it's Jones.
We need him for first down.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just
Good
tell you
win,
from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up in.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And the Falcons grab it.
Second
And they'll take over inside
How many
the
fumbles on the season?
44-yard line.
And fumbles in a year for Brady.
Down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back.
Where's Brady fumbles when you got hit?
Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean,
Hey, goddamn Brady.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Yeah, it's not fumbling the football. 10 fumbles on the year, I believe.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. His throw incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Oh, Goy. What the fuck?
13 before they drop it. That one covers 29 yards, first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's. And that's exactly what they did there.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, Ryan.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is
Ryan cannot get in the end zone.
Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
4th down. Here's Ryan.
What is that?
Falcon touchdown. Hayden
Winston.
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
They're going for 2.
Falcons get a bit closer.
Hey, I know they need 2, but I'll go and kick this point first. Go for 2 in the next 2 touchdowns. Yeah, they want to go for 2 now just so they know they make it 3. If they don't get that, then it's a 3 possession
Out of the
team.
gun, it's Ryan.
What the fuck, defense?
That keeps their slim hopes
Where are you going?
We're back to a 2-score
I don't know losing the game yet.
Trying to go far wide, not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it
You
there.
know that.
Defense, what
You
you're
got
trying to do
sacked
is
back.
if someone's going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you.
Yeah, but he was behind the receiver, so he probably could, but he doesn't need to take that risk.
Start the drive with a carry by Jones.
Yeah, the Falcons not gonna. They can't stop this running game.
Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Ronald Jones is running all over
It's
them.
one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Soft through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Well, it
They
is
tight.
just to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base,
What are
not
the
taking a
Redskins
chance,
doing?
not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking.
Alex Smith with 3 picks.
If you do blitz, you have to be careful about where you're coming
He always
from.
throwing picks and shit.
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Browns are making sure they get in that playoffs. 41 points.
Here's 2nd and 9. Just
They're on a
yard
mission.
last run. They'll throw with Brady. Under a heavy
Oh, I get sacked on a fucking. That back screams.
Now that is 9 sacks for it.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly
Fuck
defense to
offense.
attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz
Wide
close
open.
and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers
We got
to
a
get
punt.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football.
What is your offense doing? I don't go 40 points for one. I think it's the Panthers.
Ready to see
It's
what
the
they
shitty
can
ass
do.
Panthers.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own
Like you never do it. Any of your team.
from the shotgun.
Or with the Packers.
Connections to the right side.
And it's doing it
On
again.
the catch there brings up
The Lions, like, what are you doing? It's like the last 3 games. Yeah, it's like that in real life. It's like that in real life, Ian. It's like that in real life. Teams figure out the Packers over by second half. Because all Packers do, that's all Packers do, Ian. Their offense relies on the running game and play action. That's all your offense is.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo.
That's why Packers are gonna lose to the Rams, Ian. Because Rams always have a good defense. Packers probably won't get going at the beginning.
Loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys will take over.
That's really second fumble of the game.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball, you know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the 4th quarter. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball,
The hit knock it out by Alexander.
never been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
It's new again.
7 yards there and a 1st down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball.
That's his first catch of the game. What the hell? Scotty Miller just got his first catch of the game. For 2 yards.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA
Why are they
Sports.
kicking? Oh, I'm going to
So it's
block.
Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side is looking to melt away these
Oh, wow, they got through there.
Put this one in the left-hand column. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
O.J. Howard.
Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up
Nobody, no time again. It's O-line.
right at the midfield stripe. And now with 1:52
New play
to
action.
go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Bradley Pena now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy?
Oh, my God.
Field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some
Why
help
keep
from Mr.
doing it in the
Football.
second half? I
Nicely got English
bullshit.
on that punt.
Oh, my, he's so wide
From
open.
left sideline here is caught, but they'll
That
rule
guy
it in.
can jump out and deflect it.
Couldn't keep his
Like,
feet
come
on
on.
second down.
Why do you
So
keep
now
going?
2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Ryan. Going right back to Jones. This time the connection made. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Throwing now. Ryan on first down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. They do get a yard
for
there, but
14.
only a yard. Leaves them with third
They don't
and
even run the
9
ball.
moving. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense
dropped
gives
it.
them, not what they need.
How do you need that wide open? Wait.
On defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
In the second.
They're going on fourth down. It's Ryan. Now a desperation throw.
That's not pass interference.
Wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
Fucking bullshit.
Try to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. Too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
He has no day to fuck. They get up and pass a flag.
But the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing.
Dumb flags.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. And that is caught by the big judge right there to say incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down?
He dropped it.
Fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
Brady will take it, and that should just about do it.
9 minutes. 20 only passes in the fourth quarter. I'm winning and goal.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Buccaneers, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile,
That's the game where I'm going to
out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
We were doing the 3 drops.